The first indication that my mother might have breast cancer came when I was boarding a plane to Israel for a semester abroad. I was 18 years old. I stood in the departure zone at JFK Airport, clustered with my parents and 3 younger sisters, like many other families who'd come to see their kids off for a year of post-high school study in a Jerusalem seminary. In my case, it was half a year. I'd already spent the previous one studying and touring the land, as is customary for Orthodox Jewish students, the year after high school. It was early September 1992, and the plan was to be back by January and enrolled at a New York City university. Boy, I would give my left arm to trade places with you, my dad said. He was fond of American figures of speech, even though they sometimes sounded off-kilter when spoken in his faint Hungarian accent. He clutched my face between his slight, smooth hands and held my gaze, his lower lids barely containing a pool of tears. Make sure you put in a good word for me with the big man at the wall, okay? Although my father was a deeply religious man who prayed 3 times each day, he hoped my prayers at the holiest place on earth might reverse his years-long financial decline. Here he was, asking his oldest daughter to include a request that he miraculously find his way out of debt while praying to God at the Western Wall in Jerusalem, a city he dreamed of living in. The embarrassment in his voice made me wince. Sure, Ta, of course, I promised. It was what he needed to hear. We half-hugged in the awkward way of 2 people who are emotionally constipated, and I moved on to my petite mom who had my baby sister Gita clamped onto her hip. She seemed distracted, jittery, repeatedly tucking a strand of permed, bottle-blonde hair behind one ear. Perhaps she was preoccupied by the probability that I'd return from my half-gap year the way I'd returned from my full one, 30 pounds heavier and without any marriage prospects. Sensing her dread, I enveloped her and the baby in a tight hug, planted a few extra kisses on Gita's fat, rosy cheeks, and stage-whispered to my mom, "Don't worry, Ma. I won't gain weight again." Narrator: Gila did gain weight again. Oh, I'm not worried about that, Mamala. It all came off when you came home the last time. Just remember to write lots of letters, and if you have to call home, keep it short. International calls are so expensive. Maybe if I prayed hard enough at the wall, I'd be able to collect call like the rest of my friends and have a conversation that lasted more than 2 minutes.